kan. Okay, the time is 4 p.m. We're going to get started with the regular meeting of the Alanto Elementary School District. We're going to call to order. We're going to start with roll call and quorum establishment. Ms. LeVay,
Trustee Krause,
Kraus present.
Trustee Kyer,
Kyer present.
Trustee LaFrench,
LaFrench present.
Trustee Stewart,
Stewart present.
Trustee Soto.
Soto present. The time is 4:01. Can we lower the? We're getting started, guys. Thank you for being here. Moving on to number 2, adoption, or actually pledge of allegiance, I should say. Madam Clerk, would you lead us in the pledge?
Yes, sir. If I could please have everyone stand, place their right hand over their heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, do we have any proposed additions, deletions, and adjustments in the order of business? Ms. LeVay?
We do not.
Moving on to number 2, the adoption of the agenda. Trustees, I'll entertain a motion.
Kyer, I motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Kraus, I second.
Any discussion? We'll take the vote. Ms. LeVay?
Trustee Krause,
Kraus, aye.
Trustee Kyer,
Kyer, aye.
Trustee LaFrench,
LaFrench, aye.
Trustee Stewart,
Stewart, aye.
and Trustee Soto.
So do I. Motion passes 5-0. Moving on to public testimony, public comment period for items listed on this agenda and non-agenda items within the subject matter jurisdiction of the governing board. Madam Clerk, would you help us read the instructions, please?
Yes, sir. The public comment period is administered by state law and is the point in the meeting set aside for members of the public to share their opinions with the board. Open meeting laws do not permit the board to engage in dialogue or answer questions. Any person who wishes to address the governing board on closed session or open session agenda items only must complete and submit an AESD speaker request form 5 minutes before the meeting is called to order. Public comments will only be taken on agenda items during the discussion of those items. The board values public comments, and although the Board of Trustees cannot take action or discuss items not on the agenda, the Board of Trustees listens carefully and appreciates input from the public. Additionally, a public speaker can be cut off for exceeding the allotted time or for willfully causing an actual disruption to the meeting. Before cutting a person off or removing someone, the board will give at least one clear warning. If you were cut off or warned last time, please consider that your warning. Individual speakers are allowed 3 minutes to address the board on each closed or open session agenda item. The board limits the total time for public input on each item to 20 minutes. With board consent, the president may increase or decrease the time allowed for public presentation, depending on the topic and the number of persons wishing to be heard. The president may take a poll of speakers for or against a particular issue and may ask that additional persons speak only if they have something new to add.
Before we begin with public comment, I want to clearly restate the board's expectations for decorum this evening. The board welcomes input, criticism, and differing viewpoints. However, public comment is not a forum for personal attacks, disruptive conduct, or commentary directed at individual trustees, staff, or audience members. Speakers are expected to address the board as a body, remain within the established time limits, and conduct themselves in a respectful and orderly manner. As chair of the meeting, I have a responsibility under board policy and the Brown Act to ensure meetings are conducted professionally and without disruption so that the board can carry out its duties. If a speaker engages in conduct that disrupts the meeting or violates these standards, I will issue a warning, and if necessary, conclude the speaker's remarks. With that understanding, we will proceed with public comment. Ms. LeVay.
The board calls on Brian Hahn. We don't see him. How about CSCA, Diane Lynn? All right, then we will call on our first speaker, Brenda Congo from Talion.
Good evening, Board President and trustees. It's so nice to be back here with you. I'm Brenda Congo with Talion Academy, and I just wanted to make sure that after our presentation on Tuesday that I followed up with the board. We are kindly requesting approval for our charter petition to be renewed, and I am coming straight from our staff celebration, so we don't have everybody with us today, but they're here in spirit. I did want to thank you very much for your kind feedback on Tuesday. It was very much appreciated, and it really did motivate our staff. We do have a lot of staff, families, and students that are anxiously awaiting this news. So the sooner the better. It would mean a lot to us to hear this as soon as possible. Again, families are anxious and would like to know where their students will be next year, and hopefully with Talion. I do want to mention that we are also WASC accredited. We get to do our mid-year cycle this spring, and we are also Cognia accredited. So that's a global accreditation, and they very much align with what Talion stands for. Our integrity, just caring about our students' individual paths and making sure that they have a choice that fits them and their needs that may not fit in other schools. So we thank you so much for your time. And again, I appreciate our partnership. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Next speaker is Kim Smith.
Good evening, President Soto, trustees, Superintendent Dr. Walker, cabinet, and members of the Adelanto community. Tonight, I come before you after watching the December 9th board meeting and taking careful note on several concerns that must be addressed, not for adults, not for politics, but for the well-being of our students who deserve nothing less than our full attention, urgency, and integrity. So, delayed action on fiscal priorities. I'm deeply troubled by the board's hesitation to move forward promptly on fiscal matters that have a direct and immediate impact on our students and staff. When our district is already functioning with long-standing vacancies, outdated systems, and overextended departments, delaying financial decisions is not a neutral action. It is harmful. Our students cannot afford delays. Our staff cannot afford delays. Our district cannot afford delays. We need swift, transparent, and responsible fiscal movement so classrooms can function, departments can operate, and schools can thrive. That is your charge as a governing body. Ensure that the district is financially healthy so educators can do their jobs. Second, special education issues need immediate attention. The concerns raised about special education should never be brushed aside or scheduled for later. Students with IEPs, students who require specialized services, and the staff who support them are already navigating shortages, heavy caseloads, and systemic gaps. When the board hesitates to address special education issues, especially issues already known, documented, and impacting children every day, it sends a message that these students are an afterthought. They are not. Federal law is not optional. Compliance is not optional. Serving every student equitably is not optional. Staying within jurisdiction. Another concern from December 9th meeting was hearing board members making suggestions or even directives about operational decisions that fall squarely outside their jurisdiction. There are 3 roles in any well-run district. The board governs, the superintendent leads, staff implements. When board members extend beyond governance and into management, it creates confusion, undermines leadership, and destabilizes the system that is meant to support our students. Students deserve better than delay and distraction. What I saw at that meeting and at many other meetings, and many in our community have noticed, is a pattern of stalled decisions, detours into unrelated issues, and heavy focus on matters that do not help our classrooms, our schools, or our children. Our students deserve momentum. Our staff deserves stability. Our community deserves a board that keeps its focus on governance, not micromanagement, and certainly not obstruction. A call to refocus. So tonight, I ask you, respectfully and firmly, to do what you were elected to do. Move forward on fiscal matters with urgency. urgency, prioritize special education immediately and consistently,
30 seconds.
stay within your legal role as a governing board, support Dr. Walker in leading the operational work she was hired to do, and she's doing very well at that. Remember that everything said in these meetings has real consequences for real children. Believe me, they're in my classroom every day. Because while adults debate, students wait, and our students have already waited long enough. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
The board calls on Lauren Benson.
Good evening, Cabinet, Dr. Walker, trustees, and everybody here in the room. I just came to wish you all a very happy holiday. Hopefully you can relax, rejuvenate, and get ready to come back hitting the ground running without any more stalls and delays. And we're hoping that we're not getting more fines for the interim report that wasn't approved last week, or not last week, sorry, on Tuesday. I also have a little reading material, if I can approach Zenia to give them, please.
That's fine.
Okay. Have a very restful holiday. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
The board calls on Tabitha Brown.
First of all, I would like to say congratulations to the board for their new titles that they're receiving. As a parent of children that go to Gus Franklin Elementary, I know you all heard me on Tuesday, and I stand firmly strong about it, but I do want to congratulate you. I do appreciate the work that you guys are doing. I hope that I see great and wonderful changes for our future children and our current children that we have. I would love for you guys to be able to make sure that Dr. Walker stays on this board. And I say that because she is doing amazing things. I never thought I would be in a position to even think anything about addressing a school board, because as a parent, we think, well, it's school district and we're giving our kids to you and you guys all know what's best, so this is what's going on. But when I started being involved with PTA and I started hearing and seeing things and actually coming, I'm like, what is going on? So I have been notifying my parents, I need you guys to come. These parents need to come and see what's going on. We cannot just sit here and throw our children in school and say, they know what's best and here, have at it. No, we cannot do that. And I'm learning that more and more as I go along. But Dr. Walker, thank you for opening these doors to allowing people like me, parents, to come and experience the things that you have brought forward. Because of you, and you all too, but mainly because of her, because I seen the work that she's done. Thank you. Like, you have inspired me to want to even do better for my daughters as their mother, as a leader, and show them that they can do it no matter what color they are, no matter where they come, no matter what disabilities they have. I have a 10-year-old daughter that has a learning disability, and she's like, Mommy, I can't do it. And I said, yes, you can. And I pointed out Dr. Walker to her, and I said, look at her. Strong, wearing high heels. I don't wear high heels, okay? I'll tell you that right now. You won't see me wearing those, but I will put on some tennis shoes and I will show up every time and I will stand strong about what I feel. So please, 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 as a mom, you may be parents up here. I don't know how many of you have children, but please think about these children. I have a 3-year-old that I'm going to be bringing to this school district next year. Please keep Dr. Walker, because I have another child that needs to see greatness, and I have one going to middle school. I need them to see greatness. Please
30
do not
seconds.
take that away from them. I encourage you, and I will keep coming or go on Zoom, however I have to do. But please, please, please keep her on this board, because she sees the kids. It's what everybody here needs to remember. It's about the kids. It's our children. They are not just tangible items and no, they are kids. They are human beings. They are our future. And we need them to see the future. 2030. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
The board calls on Ms. Pullum.
Good evening, Superintendent, board members, and everyone in attendance. I am a parent of, I forgot my glasses. I am a parent of elementary school age children in this district. I'm speaking to voice my support for Dr. Walker. I followed the board meetings online the past few months and am appalled at the disrespect directed at our superintendent. I can imagine what goes on in closed sessions. Though I'm older than Dr. Walker, I don't know about some of you, but as a child, I was taught to honor my mother and father. I see all elders and as extension of my parents to be honored and respected as well. I'm a little nervous. I haven't spoken in front of people in a long time. Like disrespectful children, some adults need a timeout and should be directed to the corner of the room. The majority of us will grow older so we must show humility towards one another because karma is around the corner waiting. Dr. Walker has sat through these assaults of her position, her character, and worthiness with poise, dignity, and grace. Sometimes holding back tears. I do not understand the constant, unprecedented, and unwarranted evaluation of her. Dr. Walker, since being elected to this position, has done a superb job overlooking the district, implementing programs, procedures, and strategies, helping the district school administrators succeed to ensure the success of all children in our district. The fake pleasantries masking one's true intent is disarming and not blind to the eyes of many. Some see what's going on and remain silent for whatever their reasons. Others see as I do and speak out on this. Dr. Walker, I support you and hope others will stand along beside me in that support of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
The board calls on Melissa Ochoa.
Hi, everyone. We are blessed to be here, and we are excited about the love that we see for Miss Walker, and she's been amazing. And Merry Christmas, first of all, to everybody. We're here to support our board as well as Miss Walker. She's been amazing, and you know, our fifth grader was in the leadership for I forgot what advisory, and he absolutely was so encouraged, and he went with his head up and to middle school, and we have his little well, his big recognition award, and it's a big step for him, and I think it was a great idea to bring that the kids, welcome the kids with their ideas, and he's actually wondering why he wasn't called for elementary and for junior high, but that's another story. And we love you, Miss Walker. We love everybody. We know everybody has a purpose here, and sometimes it's for us to be on our knees. And we hope that we keep Miss Walker, because she'll shine anywhere she goes. She's a strength. Her strength and character just brighten the room. And we're very thankful for you guys, and we just want you to know that we have 6 children, and most of them have been in the Adelanto School District. And I have little ones as well. So yeah, we want stability in our district, and we want confidence in our district and unity. So please do what is right. God bless you guys.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
The board calls on Ms. Peralta.
Good evening, members of the board, Superintendent Walker and Cabinet.
Can we have you at the podium, please?
I can-
Oh, I'm sorry. Please continue.
My name is Ireri Peralta, and I have proudly served the Adelanto Elementary School District for 19 years. In nearly 2 decades with this district, I've had the opportunity to work under many superintendents, some good, some not so good, but each brought experiences that shaped who we are today. However, I stand before you tonight to say with complete confidence that I'm currently working with the best superintendent we've ever had, Dr. Walker. Dr. Walker is not only an exceptional leader, but an exceptional human being. She brings a level of integrity, compassion, and dedication that is very rare. She leads with integrity, consistency, and heart. She listens, she supports. She lifts people up. Every decision she makes reflects her commitment to the well-being of our staff, our students, and our community. In a district that has faced many challenges over the years, Dr. Walker has brought stability, trust, and hope. She encourages collaboration, values transparency, and always keeps students at the center of our work. Her leadership has created a positive culture that many of us have waited years to experience. After 19 years in Adelanto, I feel grateful, truly grateful to be working under someone who inspires us to do our very best, who celebrates our strengths, and who never forgets the human side of our work. Thank you for allowing me to take the opportunity to share my perspective, and thank you, Dr. Walker, for being the leader that this district deserves.
Thank you, Dr. Walker.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
We're in Zoom. Erin Gruwell is on the line.
Asking her to unmute now.
Hi, my name is Erin Gruwell, and I want to say thank you to the board president, the trustees, Superintendent Walker, and the community of Adelanto. And sitting here on a Friday night, watching beautiful children holding up signs next to their mothers, their grandmothers, educators, and hearing the tearful cries, I too would like to show my unwavering support and unconditional conviction to Dr. Walker as a superintendent. I have been so blessed with my Freedom Rider Crusade to do 4,000 events across this world in all 50 states. And as you can imagine, with 4,000 events, I've met a lot of superintendents. And through this crusade, I've asked about 4 of them to join our Freedom Rider family. Dr. Walker is the 4th. I was so honored that the County of San Bernardino allowed me to bestow a scholarship on her this summer to join us. And I've been able to watch her firsthand, her conviction, her unwavering support and love for those she humbly serves. I do believe she is a humble servant. I'm so excited to have worked with students from the Hope Scholars Program, Columbia Middle School, and Mesa Linda. And I'm here on a Friday night, hoping that the board takes into considerations those that you also humbly serve, for the continuity of this community who has gone through so much. I believe that having Dr. Walker at the helm is exactly what Adelanto needs. She is solid. She is steadfast. She is an intellectual. She walks through these campuses and kids look at her in awe, as do I. I'm fighting back tears as I was watching children with their signs, and the woman that spoke before me, who clearly was so moved to tears. What we want in this community is inclusion, and we want to celebrate greatness and strength. And so I changed my entire schedule today so that I could support
30
her.
seconds.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
That concludes tonight's speakers.
All right, moving on to number 4, annual organization. We're gonna do it a little bit differently this time. It'll stay the same. The only difference is the trustee who wants to make the nomination for the nominee, they will accept or decline the nomination. If they accept the nomination, that will count as a second, and if they don't, then that motion just dies. So at this time, trustees, I'll entertain a motion for president, and I nominate Clerk Kyer for president.
I'm sorry, can you explain that again? I'm not familiar with what you're saying.
Sure. So the only thing that's changing is that the person that's being nominated will accept or decline that position.
And you said once they do that, that's considered a second?
Sure.
I didn't know anything about that. Can you say that again?
Sure. So we'll make the nominations. When a trustee wants to nominate a trustee, that trustee will either accept the nomination or decline the nomination.
Point of order.
What's your point of order?
I believe for a motion to be upheld, it does require a first and a second. If the trustee wishes to decline the position, that is completely up to them. But for them to be upheld, I believe it requires a first and second.
That is correct. Point well taken. Any other questions, Trustee LaFrench?
That was my question because I thought that I heard you say that once they accept the nomination, then that is considered a second. So I had never heard that before.
So let's say, for example, Trustee A nominates Trustee B. That's the first, right? That's moved by Trustee A. Trustee B will then say, I accept the nomination or I decline the position. And then so if they accept the nomination, well then that's that nominee seconding the first motion.
And I guess that Ms. Kyer just explained that that is not how it goes. Correct.
What I heard was that there needs to be a motion, and that's correct. A motion does need to be made, and then there needs to be a second. But how I want to move this organization more quickly is if that trustee will accept or decline the nomination.
So are you saying you're changing the way that we are seconding the nomination? Are you saying that the person that accepts it is also already the second?
Right, it'll be up to them, yes.
I have a question. So is that in our bylaws?
It's a Rosenberg Rules of Orders. On our agenda, it says Robert's Rules of Orders. That's incorrect.
This is something brand new to me. I've never heard this before. I wish I would have gotten some notice on this is how it was going to be different this time.
Fair enough. Yeah, this is new, something different, but governing boards have done this in the past. So I didn't come up with it, but it is the first time that we're doing this. You have a good point.
You said you can come up with it, meaning that as board president, you can come up with it and change it without notifying the rest of the trustees?
So no, that's not what I said. We're modifying the process, and as chair of the governing body, I can change it a little bit. It's not changing a whole bunch. It's just whether they want it or not. That's it. And if the board doesn't agree, we could just keep it. But I think this is how we're gonna move it as quickly as possible.
Point of order.
What's your point?
I would like to reiterate, we need a first, we need a second. Due to time and process, I would like to move that we continue the process as is and have this come back for consideration with the board bylaw to be considered by the entire board before making changes.
Okay, point well taken. Then we'll continue. Trustees, I need a nomination for president.
Trustee Kyer, I motion that Trustee Soto be president.
Is there a second?
Trustee Krause, I'll second.
Any discussion? We'll take the vote. Ms. LeVey.
Is there discussion? I think it says elected president discussion.
Is there a point of order?
Do we have discussion? I'll create discussion.
We do have discussion. Trustee Stewart.
Love French, do you have discussion?
Yeah, you can go first.
I can go first. Well, our choices are not the best. The board president is supposed to work with the superintendent, and the role of the board president. They help set the agenda, and they run the meeting, but the board president has no more power than any other board member. So whoever is the board president needs to remember that. Also, the board president and the board has to remember that the superintendent is, yes, technically our one employee, but we're a team. We're a team, and we are to work together. Also, if I were an employee, I would not. An employer, I would not treat my employees so poorly. So I hope whoever the board president is keeps this in mind as they fulfill their duties. That we are not the holier than thou. We are representatives, no more. And you represent your area. So do so well, please. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Trustee LaFrench.
I just want to go on the record to say that once again, I sit here as an African American woman, unheard and unseen. I ask questions that have changed in the middle of something, and then I am ignored. I don't appreciate it. I've been on this board. This is hurtful. Anytime something changes, I am dismissed, and it needs to stop. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other speakers, trustees, colleagues? Ms. LeVey, the vote, please.
Trustee Kraus?
Kraus, aye.
Trustee Kyer?
Kyer, aye.
Trustee LaFrench?
LaFrench, nay.
Trustee Stewart?
Stewart, nay.
Trustee Soto?
So do I. Motion passes 3-2. Moving on to Vice President. Trustees, I need a nomination for Vice President.
Kraus, I nominate Clerk Kyer for Vice President.
Is there a second? Soto, I'll second. We'll open discussion. Trustees?
I have a question on who made the decision to change the names without informing the vice. I don't know where the vice president title came from. Was there some discussion that I wasn't aware of?
So you're not sure where this came from?
Exactly. Was there a discussion that it was an agreement between the trustees about changing the titles? Because I'm not aware of a vice president.
Yes, we had this on the 9th.
We voted on something on the 9th, but it wasn't a discussion on it.
There was no discussion. I opened it up for discussion. Every time there's a motion, we always open it up for discussion. Just like, yeah.
Who put it? Who put it on the agenda though? Did you talk with the rest of us? Well, who put this on the agenda? and decided that we needed to change it?
Well, the board decided, but as board
Which board? Because I'm here on the board unseen once again. So which board decided that they were going to change the titles? 3 trustees, 4, 5? Because I'm one of them.
May I make comment?
Thank you. Clerk Kyer, Vice President Kyer.
Yes.
Elect.
Did she
Yeah.
get it already? Did we
Not
vote?
elect,
Clerk
elect.
Kyer.
Yes. clerk.
I would like to point out this. This is something that me and Soto started working on in September to be brought to the board. Any item considered by the board can only be discussed between 2 board members prior to an agenda. Otherwise, it is a Brown Act violation. We brought it at the last board meeting for consideration by this board, and it was passed. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm clear on that 3-vote pass. Thank you.
President Soto,
Trustee Kraus.
thank you for allowing me to add to this discussion. I appreciate every trustee's comments on this. But it's my understanding, President Soto, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, as board president, whoever's in that seat does determine the agenda setting and what's on the agenda with the superintendent. Is that a fair statement in our bylaws? I haven't pulled them up, but I remember something of that nature, that it is up to the board president to bring agenda items to the board.
That is correct, yes.
All right, thank you, sir.
Any other discussion, trustees? We'll take the vote. Ms. LeVay. Yes, Ms. LeVay.
Trustee Kraus,
Kraus, aye.
Trustee Kyer,
Kyer, aye.
Trustee LaFrench,
Left French, nay.
Trustee Stewart,
Nay.
Trustee Soto.
Soto, aye. Motion passes 3-2. Moving on to clerk. Trustees, we need a nomination for board clerk.
Trustee Kyer, I motion to make Stewart board clerk.
Kraus, I second.
Any discussion?
I think I have to say I accept it, because I could say I don't, but I do accept it.
Thank you. Anything else? Colleagues? We'll take the vote. Ms. LeVay.
Trustee Kraus,
Kraus, aye.
Trustee Kyer,
Kyer, aye.
Trustee LaFrench,
Left French, aye.
Trustee Stewart,
Stewart, aye.
Trustee Soto.
Soto, aye. Motion passes 5-0. Moving on to board rep. Trustees, I need a nomination for board rep.
Kraus, I nominate Trustee Love French for board rep.
Is there a second?
Kyer, I second.
Any discussion? Okay. Ms. LeVay, the vote, please.
Trustee Kraus,
Kraus, aye.
Trustee Kyer,
Kyer, aye.
Trustee LaFrench,
Left French, aye.
Trustee Stewart,
Stewart, aye.
Trustee Soto.
Soto, aye. Motion passes 5-0. Moving on to legislative representative. Trustees, I'll need a nomination for this role.
Kyer, I motion to make Trustee Kraus legislative representative.
Is there a second?
No.
Soto, I'll second.
We're open for discussion.
Yes, we are. Trustee LaFrench.
Can someone once again give me an idea of what this legislative representative does? Because I don't know of any policy or anything about a legislative representative. Unaware of this as well.
Okay. Sure. Let me pull up the policy that we just passed on the 9th. If I can pull it up for you.
And as you pull that up, I just wanted to bring up that the reason I was unclear too, that there would be an extra position, because when we do things like bylaws and stuff, there's a first read and a second read. but you waived the second read and just went straight to the first, you waived it to rush it to have it here now. So that's why I'm unclear as I looked at it, because, our agenda was packed. And so it was unclear the difference between the two positions.
May I make comment?
Sure. Click higher.
As stated prior, me and Trustee Soto had started working on these policies at the end of August, beginning of September. We believed that it was impactful for each board member to have a role, a responsibility, and a learning opportunity. My understanding in the research legislative representatives focus primarily on what's going on at the state level and how it will impact our district here. We felt this position was essential, as anyone who holds the position will not only get the education understanding state law impacting local districts, but also the ability to bring it back and educate the rest of the board. Thank you.
Thank you. And just to get back to Trustee LaFrench, the policy that was passed on the 9th, the Board of Trustees shall elect the legislative rep from among its members at the annual organization meeting. They shall monitor pending legislation, regulatory changes, and public policy issues affecting education. They'll report regularly to the board on legislative developments, potential impacts, and recommend board positions. They'll represent the board at legislative meetings, conferences, and advocacy events as appropriate. Serve as a point of contact for state and federal elected officials regarding education policy. Recommend board action or advocacy strategies related to legislation. The rep will hold this position for no more than 2 years. Anything else, trustees? We'll take the vote. Ms. LeVey?
Trustee Kraus,
Kraus, aye.
Trustee Kyer,
Kyer, aye.
Trustee LaFrench,
French name.
Trustee Stewart,
Stored name.
Trustee Soto.
So do I. Motion passes 3-2. Moving on to recognizing outgoing officers and welcoming newly elected officers. Miss Dr. Walker? Do you want me to go with you?
Yes.
At this time, we want to acknowledge the outgoing president who was in the seat beginning in 2025, and that is going to go to Christina Stewart. Thank you for your emeritus leadership in district governance to advance excellence in education and for your faithful commitment to our students, employees, and community.
I just want to say, though my term was short, I do want to say that I stand by my actions as president, because since day one, the kids have been the point. Our kids deserve a district that runs well, that puts the kids first, that knows the kids can reach goals that others may have thought that are not possible just because they're in our area. Because of where we come from, they will do incredible things and be the stars we know they will become. Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to congratulate our new president, President Soto.
Alrighty, guys, thanks for being here. I do have some things to say. Try to make it quick. I know it's our Friday here. All right. What do we owe the children of this district? Everything together, leadership, team. That's the question I've been thinking about tonight. Not the agenda, the titles, that question. As I step into my role, my intention is clear. I want Adelanto to become the #1 school district in this county. I want our students to receive the best education in this region. I want families to feel proud to send their children here. And I want our teachers and staff to feel valued, respected, and heard. That is the standard. Not comfort, not tradition, excellence. And excellence requires something of us. It requires courage. It requires growth. It requires us to challenge habits that feel safe but no longer serve our students. We cannot keep going the way that we cannot keep doing things simply because that's always how we've done them. That mindset may feel familiar, but it's not excellence. It does not produce greatness. From this point forward, if something is not law, board policy, then it's open for conversation. It's open for improvement. It's open for us to become better together. Now, I'm not naive. The months ahead will bring challenges. Growth always does. Change brings tension. Leadership brings hard conversations. And yes, there will be moments where we disagree. Moments where it feels uncomfortable. And moments where the work feels heavy. But this district has already proven something important. We know how to endure. We know how to show up. We know how to move forward through difficult seasons. And tonight we step into a new one. I want every trustee to know this. Your voice matters. Every neighborhood will be heard. Every family will be represented. And our disagreement will not be treated as division. I know what it feels like to be the minority voice at this table. I know what it feels like to wonder if anyone is listening. And under my leadership, no one, inside or outside of this district, will be dismissed for thinking differently. Because this is not about 3 versus 2. This is not about sides. This is about a team. becoming a team. And a team that listens, a team that grows, a team that leads with integrity, empathy, and discipline. Our students deserve stability. Our staff deserve clarity and respect. And our community deserves hope. A hope backed by real work and commitment. So tonight we answer the question, what do we owe the children of this district? We owe them excellence. We owe them courage. We owe them a future stronger than the past. And we thank you all for your support in allowing us to do this work. Let's get to work. Thank you. All right, moving to number 3, appointment of the superintendent to the secretary of the board. I'll entertain a motion.
Crier, I motion to appoint the superintendent as secretary to the board.
Is there a second?
Stewart, I second.
Any discussion?
I just want to remind the board as we venture on this new leg of our journey that we remember that Dr. Walker is the how things are done. We're the what, and she is part of the team and should be respected as part of the team as well. So thank you.
Anything else, colleagues? We'll take the vote. Ms. LeVay?
Trustee Krause?
Kraus, aye.
Trustee Kyer?
Crier, aye.
Trustee LaFrench?
Left French, aye.
Trustee Stewart?
Stewart, aye.
Trustee Soto?
Soto, aye. Motion passes 5-0. Moving on to number 5, consent agenda. It's the ratification for EPIC Special Education Services. I entertain a motion.
Stewart, I motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Left French, I second.
We'll open it up for discussion.
Yes, thank you. I'd like to start.
Okay.
As a person who went to speech almost all my life, they tried. They tried, but I'm stubborn and I didn't learn my techniques. But my son, when he was in the first grade, he didn't have an IEP, but his school said to be preventative, let's put him in speech. And thank God he did not pick up how I speak. So I don't understand why this was tabled in the first place, because it is so important when you speak. People judge you how you speak. When I stutter, I've had adults laugh at me and mimic me because they think I'm playing. And there are those who stutter worse, and so they pick jobs where they don't have to speak. And it is so sad. Also, for those of you who are out there is a high demand for speech therapists. If you want job security, please go in there. You get to work with kids, small group, one-on-one, and you make a difference. I loved all of my speech therapists. I loved to go and to be there. And of course, when I was in speech was when I was the most fluent. Once I walked out the door, I don't know what happened. So we have to support our kids, especially our SPED, when it comes to speech. So I am so pleased that this was brought back onto so that there's no lapse.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
Yes, President Soto, if I may.
Trustee Krause.
Absolutely. Thank you. On December 9th, there were many items tabled, not just this item, on December 9th to be moved to a future board meeting. First, I wanted to make that clear. Secondly, on page 5, when you look at the ratification agreement, item number 8, this agreement is in effect beginning December 10th through June 30th for an additional $1.5 million. That's $1.5 million. On the very last page, page 10, it says for staffing, the additional staff would be 1 school psychologist. So I'd like clarification if that school psychologist is going to become a millionaire overnight, or what are we paying for 1.5 million when the only employee I can find that Epic is adding is the school psychologist on page 10. So if someone could please help the public who have emailed me and asked, what is 1.5 million getting us besides a school psychologist? So that's my question, President Soto.
Thank you, Trustee Kraus. Dr. Walker?
Thank you for your question. I will turn it over to our Assistant Super of Human Resources, Mr. Shiflett.
Thank you. So 1.5 million. So what does that get us? It gets us Epic, and we have over 600 kids that need speech services, and that company does support our students with those services. We do have 14 SLPs, 5 SLP PAs assistants, and what that 1.5 million is with rising costs. We have rising costs, and also our psychologists we're very short on. You mentioned that we do have to hire psychologists, but at this point, it is for rising costs, and that's why we are asking for additional monies as requested.
Thank you for your reply. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Anything else, trustees?
I just want to say that I'm glad that this was brought back because I just couldn't, I don't know, understand. I know for the sake of time on Tuesday that we were approving things like board representatives and I don't know, vice presidents and all kind of other things, but we were tabling speech. Thank you for bringing it back.
Thank you. Anything else, trustees? And just so I'm being real with the public, I tabled this because kind of along the same concerns, we're already spending $1 million on this agency. That's a lot of money. And I just wanted the same question that really Trustee Krause kind of had along the lines is, what is that money being spent on? What are we using it for? 1.5 million of your guys' money, think about that. All we're asking is, what is that being used for? And it's exactly half $500,000. So it's not like a service is being provided. Let's not blur. Hold up. We can't go back and forth in the dialogue, but I hear you. Yes, there's services, and it's expensive. Yes, and that's why I want to know what exactly it's being used for. So if it is, if that's the cost, that's the cost. But I just want to know what it's being used for. But and just so everybody knows, this is something I brought up back in May, I believe, when we did the budget interim budget. I brought up this exact thing, so I'm just being consistent with my concerns. But I understand the need, so we'll see. All right, anything else, colleagues? Any more discussion? All right, we'll take the vote. Ms. LeVay.
Trustee Krause?
Kraus, aye.
Trustee Kyer?
Kyer, aye.
Trustee LaFrench?
LaFrench, aye.
Trustee Stewart?
Stewart, aye.
Trustee Soto?
So do I. Motion passes 5-0. Moving on to new business. Discuss and consider nominations for CSBA Delegate Assembly Subregion 16B San Bernardino. I'll entertain a motion. I need to see the names.
President Soto, I motion to start the nomination process.
Yes, who would you like to nominate?
I was looking for the nominees. I know on the 9th we had that list there for the nominees, and I was wondering before we started discussing this, was there another place that I could locate the nominees for that?
It is on the board agenda as an attachment.
So actually, we'll need a first and a second. So I have Kraus, you move to discuss and consider nominations, and then I'll just second it. So now we're open for discussion. So yeah, yes, and Clerk Hire is correct. If you go to the agenda, there should be names on there. So if you go to new business, click on one of the PDFs, there's 2 documents there. The first one is the one that you wanna look at. So 16B. All right, so if we're at 16B, so there's page 3 for 16B on the right, upper right corner of the page. San Bernardino.
Point of order, do we have a second on this motion?
I second it, yeah. Okay, I'll nominate Eric Swanson.
I believe we have to take the vote for the discussion and consideration and then make the
yes.
motion for the nominations.
Did you guys have any other discussion? Thank you, Clerk Hire. Any discussion? Okay, Ms. LeVay will take the vote.
Trustee Kraus?
Kraus, aye.
Trustee Kyer?
Kyer, aye.
Trustee LaFrench?
Love French, aye.
Trustee Stewart?
Stewart, aye.
Trustee Soto?
So do I. Motion passes 5-0. Okay. Now, trustees, I need a motion for the first nomination.
Stewart, I nominate Christina Behringer. I can't say her name, from Snowline.
Kyer, I second.
All right. Any discussion? We'll take the vote. Ms. LeVay?
Trustee Kraus?
Kraus, aye.
Trustee Kyer?
Kyer, aye.
Trustee LaFrench?
Love French, aye.
Trustee Stewart?
Stewart, aye.
Trustee Soto?
So do I. Motion passes 5-0. Moving on to the second nominee for Subregion 16B.
Trustee Kraus, I nominate Gwen Dowdy Rogers from the San Bernardino County Office of Ed.
Is there a second?
Kyer, I'll second.
Any discussion? We'll take the vote. Ms. LeVay?
Trustee Kraus?
Kraus, aye.
Trustee Kyer?
Kyer, aye.
Trustee LaFrench?
Love French, aye.
Trustee Stewart?
Stewart, aye.
Trustee Soto?
So do I. Motion passes 5-0. We need a third nominee, trustees.
Trustee Kyer, I motion for Eric Swanson.
I'll second. Any discussion? Ms. LeVay, the vote, please.
Trustee Kraus?
Kraus, aye.
Trustee Kyer?
Kyer, aye.
Trustee LaFrench?
Love French, aye.
Trustee Stewart?
Stewart, aye.
Trustee Soto?
So do I. Motion passes 5-0. We need a fourth nominee, trustees.
Trustee Kyer, I motion for Heather Allgood.
Is there a second?
Kraus, I'll second.
Any discussion? Ms. LeVay, the vote, please.
Trustee Kraus?
Kraus, aye.
Trustee Kyer?
Kyer, aye.
Trustee LaFrench?
Love French, aye.
Trustee Stewart?
Stewart, aye.
Trustee Soto?
So do I. Motion passes 5-0. Trustees, we need a fifth nominee.
Stewart, I nominate Amanda Buchanan from Apple Valley.
Is there a second?
Kyer, I'll
French,
second.
second.
Give it to Stewart, or give it to LaFrench.
We have a first by Stewart and a second by Trustee LaFrench. Any discussion? We'll take the vote. Ms. LeVay?
Trustee Kraus?
Kraus, aye.
Trustee Kyer?
Kyer, aye.
Trustee LaFrench?
Love French, aye.
Trustee Stewart?
Stewart, aye.
Trustee Soto?
So do I. Motion passes 5-0. Moving on to number 2, approval of the fiscal year 2025-2026 first interim report. Trustees, I entertain a motion.
Stewart, I motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Kyer, I second.
Any discussion?
I do want to take a moment and relay this information to the public. It is state and county requirements that we have this approved by December 15th, that there were no fines, we were not in any trouble. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else, trustees?
Yes, President Soto.
Trustee Kraus.
Again, I wanted to reiterate my thank you to Mr. Zach Clemish and his fiscal staff for putting this together in the presentation that was done December 9th. And as stated at the last board meeting, the concerns about that third and fourth year out, I think that the board and the district and the community hopefully will work together on ways to make sure that potentially that doesn't happen. But again, a lot of it's dependent upon the state budget coming out in January. But again, I'm hopeful that we can all work together, as you mentioned, as a team to mitigate any kind of fiscal impacts to our district based on things like the state's budget, which are out of our control. But again, thank you to the fiscal staff in the district for putting this together.
Thank you, Trustee Kraus. Anything else, trustees?
Just real quick, I just want to say that hopefully the board will work with Dr. Walker so that she can find an interim CBBO for the fact that we need someone to lead the district to make sure our I's are dotted and our T's are crossed. Yes, Zach is, he's doing his job the best he can, but we need a CBO to lead that department.
Thank you, Trustee Stewart. Anything else, trustees?
I just want to say that when we make decisions like tabling things that have such a urgency, it just shows that I'm glad that we had this meeting that was coming up because we want to make sure that things like this does not have the impact that it'll have on our students by just throwing it to the side. Once again, we were able to get the vice president and the legislator, but we tabled something for the district, for our children.
Thank you. Anything else, trustees? All right, we'll take the vote. Ms. LeVay.
Trustee Kraus?
Kraus, aye.
Trustee Kyer?
Kyer, aye.
Trustee LaFrench?
Left French, aye.
Trustee Stewart?
Stewart, aye.
Trustee Soto?
Soto, aye. Motion passes 5-0. Moving on to governing reports and announcements. We'll start again where we always start. Trustee Kraus.
Thank you, President Soto, and good evening to everyone that's here on a Friday night, those of you in person and those of you out on YouTube. Tomorrow is the Adelanto Christmas Parade, so we're looking forward to seeing many of our students in schools participate in that as they do every year. It's always an exciting time. I'm not sure what time it starts, but I believe it's now back to where it originally started at Columbia Middle School and going starting at Seneca and Astor. But if anyone else knows different.
It starts at 10.
10 a.m. Okay, thank you. 10 a.m. For those of you that are, but I would say get out there early and get a chair out there so you can watch it. But we're excited that the city brought it back to that area for that. So exciting for that. Also, want to say thank you to Talion. I appreciate Ms. Congo and her team, entire team, as much as they could be here on Tuesday night. We do appreciate you being here. Just for the record, I am one trustee. And so when I apologize to you, it's coming just for me. I'm not representing the rest of the board on this matter, but I wanted to apologize to Talion because on the draft agenda for last Tuesday, December 9th, you were on there for approval, and then it did not make it on the final agenda that was published. And then there was a written request yesterday to have it on there for approval this evening. And again, it did not make it. But just so you know, we have asked for it to be on there, and this is twice now for the approval for the petition that it has not been on there. So on behalf of myself only as a trustee, I do apologize for the delay in getting that on the agenda. And I know President Soto will work with the district to ensure that we get that to the rest of the board in an expedient manner, because I think twice is too many times not to have it on there for an up or down vote. So again, Ms. Congo, if you can relay that to your team. I know they're looking forward to going into next year, 2026, and the families wanting to know that, yes, they will have Talion there at the end of the day. So wanted to make sure that that was clear and on the record for that. A couple other things I wanted to just make clear as a trustee, and President Soto will probably elaborate this evening on this, but the reason we have superintendent evaluation on the agenda is because the board cannot cannot mention anything in closed session without having that item on there. So every time it's on there does not mean that something is going wrong, there's something bad. And what's interesting is that there's been many people since December 9th and before that have come to the board, especially tonight, and said, please don't get rid of Dr. Walker. But I cannot find anything on YouTube, anything that any trustee has said on this dais that said that anybody is wanting to get rid of Dr. Walker. So I'm a little confused about where that's coming from, where that narrative is coming from, because again, I challenge anyone that thinks that to produce anything that any of these board members have said to that effect, because you will not find it. So I want to make that clear that just because the superintendent's evaluation is on there, and that is a closed session item, that's not to be talked about outside of closed session. Want to make it clear to the public that it does not mean that the board or some members of the board are out to get anybody. So I wanted to make that clear. At the last board meeting, it was intimated by a public speaker that some of us trustees up here are potentially racist and potentially against women. And I want to make it absolutely clear that I challenge that narrative once again to produce any kind of example, because anyone can get up here and they can insinuate anything they want. You have the First Amendment right to do that. God bless America, right? You can get up here and say what you want, but if you don't have facts to back it up, clear, hard evidence that any of these trustees have said anything racist, publicly, privately, anything on social media, anything about anyone's gender, it is not true. And I hate that people come up here and try to incite this time and time again and indicate that trustees are racist and are against females, and that's not the case. When I was superintendent in this district, and this is a fact, look up your facts, I hired the most African American females into administrative roles, and many of them are still here to this day. I was the only superintendent that hired more African American females into administrative roles in the Adelanto Elementary School District. So it is a slap to me and to all of us that have no concerns about whether you're a man or a woman, what your race is, what your gender is, or any of the other protected classes. We don't look at that. We look at ability, and we hire people, well, at least when I was superintendent, based on their qualifications. And as a board, we do not consider race, gender, or anything else. So it is a slap to those of us and our students that are listening for these race baiters that want to try to say, oh, it's about race, when it's never been about race, and it's not about gender. So I want to clear that up as well. And again, I challenge someone to come up with anything that any of us trustees have said that indicates that we have said anything about anyone's race, anyone's race or anyone's gender. It's a shame that that continues to come up here. That goes to my next point about decorum on the dais and on the podium. Our students are home right now watching this. Our parents, our community are watching. And they're asking themselves, why do people get up at our podium and spew this stuff? Why do they get up there and say things that they can't back up? Well, I ask the same question because we're here for our students, and that's what we need to focus on. As President Soto said earlier, we need to stop the personal attacks. We need to stop the harassment. We need to focus on students and what's best for them. So as we move into 2026, it would be great if people could refocus, as the word was used earlier, on what is really important, and that it's our students and our community. It was also mentioned about board hesitating. Point of order, President Soto.
Thank you.
Point of order.
It's okay.
You guys,
It's okay.
you guys. Order, order. Excuse me. Excuse me. You're out of order. You can leave. Thank you. Thank you. You guys, please be respectful to the trustees who are speaking. You guys have 3 minutes. Point of order, you're out of order.
President
You guys,
Soto, do we
one
need to take
second,
a
trustee.
recess?
1 second. No,
Clear the
we're
room.
okay. We're fine. Thank you.
Okay.
You guys have 3 minutes to say what you guys have to say. Okay? Let the trustee speak. And if we continue to disrupt, we're gonna have to ask people to leave the room. We're not gonna do this, guys. We're here to be respectful and professional. Our kids are watching. Trustee, are we good? Trustee Kraus.
Thank you, President Soto. I'm almost done. It was also mentioned earlier that the board hesitated on December 9th We have a time limit of 9:30 for the public's information. And if we go past 9:30 or come up to that 9:30 timeline, we have to vote to extend the meeting. In the case of December 9th, the vote was to extend it until 11 p.m. At that time, at 9:30, we were still up in closed session. And by the time we made it back down to the boardroom for open session, there were other agenda items that needed to be done, but there was no way physically we could get through all of those agenda items. And so the board members had to decide which ones to table at that point, knowing that we had a board meeting December 12th and we would bring them back on December 12th. So to insinuate that we hesitated to approve things, no, we needed to move them in order to finish some of the items on that agenda. We do not make delayed fiscal decisions. We move first interim to today. And as Clerk Kyer, now Vice President Kyer, stated, we have until December 15th to approve the first interim, and that did not affect anyone or anybody's budget or anybody's paycheck at the end of the day. So I wanted to clear that misconception up as well, because it's unfortunate that we have a lot of misinformation that comes up on the podium for public speaking. And I think it behooves us as trustees to ensure that the truth and factual information is relayed to the public so that we can counter the narratives, the negative narratives that continue to come up to the dais time and time and time again. I recommend that we focus on our students and stop the personal attacks. And with that, I'd like to wish President Soto a happy birthday. And I want to wish everyone out there a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you, President Soto.
Thank you, Trustee Krause. Trustee Stewart?
It is my turn, as in Gru would say, right? First thing I do, we're gonna get the nice thing stuffs. That I want to wish you all a very merry Christmas. I want to thank the parents who took the time and the staff who took the time here to voice what you want. This is a public meeting. We have to do the district's business out in the public. And you have 3 minutes to say what you want to say. You know, I remember years ago, a certain teacher was upset with me and said that I would not last a day in a real classroom. But that's okay, because it didn't bother me, because being here on the board, you do have to get thick skin. How many times during negotiation, when the when the unions, I'm not going to say teachers because it is to CSEA, say how corrupt we are and we line our pockets. It isn't true, because I'm here. But that's all you can do, is just sit here. We are to sit here, and the public has a right to say what they want to say, true or not. That's their First Amendment right. And I will sit here and I will say thank you. And that's it. So, that being said, I just want to say we need to get more parents to watch our meetings. I did not know what a board did until I came to my first board meeting, and they made me mad. Then I moved into the area and I ran for the board, not even knowing I would win. I promise you. But our words are just words, and our actions say more. So one of the things, and I'm dropping facts here. The board voted not to continue work with the learner centered collaborative. Thank God it came back in pieces, and those pieces were passed. But after all the work that staff, students, parents, community members, after all the work that had been done in this room, it was voted down. Thank God the district brought it back in pieces, which was a technicality, because technically you can't bring things back once they've been voted down. Okay, they also Dr. Walker has been trying to create the executive director of maintenance, operation, and transportation, because our transportation needs help. It's been said here how there are issues with our buses and our bus routes, and we don't have enough bus drivers. Twice she has tried to bring this so that department can run smoothly, and it's been tabled. Also, what was tabled was the approval of the background checks of outside agencies, so workers or volunteers. I'm not quite sure which one that had passed the background check, so they could work with our kids from Millionaire Minds and behavior and education Inc. and AYYA, who work with our kids. We need those. Page 2. I am glad that the speech contract came back. Again, Dr. Walker tried to bring the employment of a guest administrator who is right now at Mesa Linda, helping them out as they revamp their school. And again, it's been tabled. Things that the district is trying to bring are being pushed aside. And how can we expect our employee to do a good job when we don't allow her to do her job? So these are all things that have come up. And for the one thing that I do want to say, when there is a public speaker, the board is not allowed to engage. You know, we aren't allowed to say, hey, this and that. And I know President Soto was trying to dispel that. Oh, we're just doing what we're supposed to do. Yes, that the ninth time was a thing planned months ago, but I understand the public's concern when the superintendent's evaluation has been brought back and brought back and brought back, and we even had a special meeting just for that. So when it keeps coming back, it makes people suspicious, especially with this district's history of going through superintendents. So yes, they know, the ones who have been here years, they can read the writing on the wall. Nobody has to tell them a thing. They know because we've been here. Okay? I am trying to start things on a clean slate. We have a gem of a superintendent. And I want to work with her because I truly believe that she could lift us up. In fact, I was just on Facebook, and she had gone to a table talk with Senator Suzette Valladez. She came here, and she talked to Dr. Walker, the superintendent from Snowline, which I can never remember his name. I just know that to me, he's a game show host because he's got that big smile. But she was there. Here she is, putting her best foot forward, trying to put the focus on the kids and the district. And I will back her up to the ground. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee LaFrench.
Thank you. I get to speak tonight. So I have quite a bit to say, but I do want to start off because I did hear someone say whether or not if we had children. I have been on this board 7 years now. It's my 8th year. I had 2 children go through this district, and I decided to join this board because I wanted to see change as a parent. And I know that when I was approached by Miss Rader, I was in the cafeteria for Morgan Kincaid, and I was popping popcorn for her. And I remember someone saying, "You would be a great fit for running for the board." I didn't know what it all entailed. 8 years later, my heart is heavy. I have some good memories of being on this board and some not so good. However, I started off as a parent where you're sitting saying to myself, I wonder if I could do that. My background is education, and I am a former teacher, and I'm still in education 30 years later. So that's how I got here. Just wanted you to know. I want to say thank you for coming out. I love to see more and more parents and people coming out. Here's what I have to say. To President Soto, colleagues, and members of the public, I am compelled to speak today to address serious concerns about governance, equality, and the treatment of both trustees and superintendent. At our last meeting, I repeatedly attempted to be recognized to speak. I was ignored. Once again, I sat here as an African American woman, unseen and unheard. At the same time, 3 other trustees continued speaking among themselves as though I was not present. That conduct violates basic meeting protocols, board norms, and the duty of the board president to facilitate meetings fairly, impartially. Additionally, I recently learned that information regarding a serious and time-sensitive matter was provided to two trustees weeks before it was provided to me. Let me be clear. Withholding or selectively distributing information to trustees in a governance is a governance failure. All trustees are legally and ethically entitled to the same information at the same time in order to fulfill our duties to the public. This is not a matter of miscommunication. This is a pattern. When a trustee is repeatedly ignored, spoken over, excluded from information, and treated differently than her colleagues, it raises a legitimate concern of disparity treatment. I want this stated clearly on this record. I believe that I am being targeted, and I am deeply concerned that race is a factor in how I am being treated by other members of this board. This is unacceptable, it is unethical, and it undermines public trust. I also need to be clear about the role of a board president. The president's role is to facilitate meetings, recognize trustees without bias, uphold board policy, and ensure productive governance. The role does not grant authority to silence trustees, control information, or alleviate one voice above another. The board president's vote and authorities carry no more weight than any other trustee. I know this because I served as a board president for 2 years. During my tenure, I never withheld information from a colleague. I never excluded a trustee from a discussion, and I never treated the superintendent with disrespect. What we are seeing now, particularly the manner in which President Soto speaks to the superintendent, is degrading, dismissive, and publicly humiliating. That behavior is unprofessional and violates the principle of respect of oversight. Disagreements does not justify hostility. Oversight does not justify intimidation. Leadership does not justify an abuse of power. This board has an obligation under our policies, our unity commitments, and the public's trust to operate with integrity. This fancy word transparency, that is, sometimes is transparent as mud, and respect. Anything else is a disservice to our students, family, staff, and community. I am demanding, not requesting, fair treatment, equal access to information, and professional conduct. I will not be silenced in the face of exclusion, inequality, or governance practices that undermine this district. I have some water, and I'm going to read what I had on Tuesday that I was not able to read. So on Tuesday, colleagues and members of the public, and Dr. Walker, I want to speak today from both my heart and from my responsibility as a trustee. Dr. Walker, I want you to know, publicly and clearly, that I see your work, I see the long hours, I see the impossible decisions you are asked to make. I see the way you continue to show up for this district, even when the pressure is heavy and criticism is loud. And I want you to hear directly from me tonight. You have my full support. It is deeply unfortunate that some of my fellow trustees choose not to see the progress, the stability, and the leadership that is happening under your direction. Instead of focusing on student outcomes, staff morale, and district growth, it feels like the focus is constantly on pushing you out the door. That is not leadership. That is not stable governance, and that is not what our students, our educators, or our families deserve. Let me also be very clear. Our teachers support you, our principals support you, our staff support you, and that is all that matters. Because what this revolving door leadership does to a district is devastating. It creates fear instead of focus. It creates instability instead of trust, and it distracts us from the real work, which is educating our children. So tonight, I'm not just speaking to support Dr. Walker, I am also speaking directly to the trustees who continue to publicly and privately target her. If the goal is truly student success, then we should be empowering our superintendent, not tearing her down. If the goal is unity, then we should be working together, not creating division. If the goal is progress, then we should be building forward, not constantly trying to reset the clock. And I will end with this question because I believe it needs to be asked. What is the real reason Dr. Walker is being targeted? Because if it's not performance, if it's not commitment, is it not lack of, it's truly not a part of lack of her effort. I would just like to know, what's the real reason Dr. Walker is being targeted? Dr. Walker, again, I want you to know that you're not alone. I support you. Our educators support you. And I'm an educator, 30 years. And I will continue to stand for what is right for this district, not only as a trustee, but as a mother, as a parent, as somebody that was on the policy council for 4 years. I am a parent first. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice President Kyer, did you want to go or?
Yeah, that works. I want to start this evening off by saying that everyone has a different encounter. Every story has a black, a white, and a gray. Every coin has two sides. Good evening, AESD friends and family. Today I want to address an issue that affects every community, every school, every workplace, and every relationship: disrespect and bad behavior. These are not just small lapses in manners or moments of frustration. They are actions that chip away at trust, erode unity, and weaken the foundations of human connection. Disrespect often begins quietly with a rude comment, a dismissive attitude, flat out ignoring others, or a refusal to listen. It may seem small, but these behaviors have a powerful ripple effect. When someone belittles another person, interrupts them, refuses to answer others, or treats them as though their feelings or ideas don't matter, it sends a message: you are less important or you do not matter. And when people begin to feel unvalued, they withdraw, they stop contributing, and the entire environment suffers and begins to fail. Bad behavior follows a similar pattern. Whether it is gossip, dishonesty, aggression, slander, or a lack of accountability, it creates tension and breeds negativity. And those with bad behavior and disrespect often shadow what others are going through, controlling the narrative. It destroys morale, damages relationships, and sets an example that others, especially young people like our students in this case, may quietly begin to imitate. Bullying takes many forms. It can be physical harm, verbal insults, spreading rumors, social exclusion, or countless attacks. Sometimes it's obvious. Other times it hides behind jokes, sarcasm, lies, or screens. But no matter how it appears, one thing remains true: bullying hurts. But here's the truth: disrespect, bullying, and bad behavior are choices. And just as they are learned, they can be unlearned. Each of us has the power to shape the tone of our environment. We can choose patience instead of anger, understanding instead of judgment, and honesty instead of avoidance. We can choose to be different, and most importantly, we can choose to stand up against that disrespect, the bullying, and bad behaviors. We do not have to continue this treatment behind closed doors. Respect does not require agreement. It requires empathy. It means recognizing the humanity in others even when we are frustrated or upset. It means listening before speaking, thinking before acting, and treating people the way we would want to be treated. Imagine a workplace, a school, or a community where respect is the norm. People communicate openly, disagreements are handled with maturity, and everyone feels valued. This is not an unrealistic expectation. It is a professional standard that has to be built, one interaction at a time. So today, I challenge each of us to reflect on our behavior. Are we contributing to a culture of respect, or are we adding to the problem? The change begins not with politics, policies, not with leaders, but with the individuals. Let us commit to kindness and accountability, to listening, and above all, to respect. I choose kindness over cruelty. I choose courage over silence. I choose to stand up instead of standing by and being silenced. To anyone who has bullied others, you can change. Apologizing, taking responsibility, and choosing empathy can make a world of difference, not only to others, but to yourself. Let's create a culture where disrespect, bad behavior, and bullying has no place, where respect is expected, and kindness is normal, and courage is contagious. Because we choose because when we choose respect, we choose strength. We choose unity. We choose a better world for ourselves and for everyone around us. As we stand at the threshold of a new year, we're giving something very rare, an opportunity to reset, to reflect, and to choose a different direction for our lives, our work, our community. A new year is more than a date on the calendar. It is a reminder that we are not defined by the mistakes we made, the opportunities we missed, or the challenges that have held us back. Instead, we are defined by how we rise, how we grow, and how we decide to move forward. This year, let us choose a direction with purpose without the ongoing disrespect, bad behavior, or bullying. Let it be the year we stop living on autopilot and start living with intention. Let it be the year we stop living in defense and division and start living in truth and unity. The year we stop waiting for the right moment and start creating our own moments. The year we stop letting fear make our decisions and start letting courage lead the way. A new direction doesn't require perfection. It requires commitment. It requires us to step outside our comfort zones, to break old habits, and to believe in possibilities we may have once ignored. Growth rarely feels comfortable, but it always will be worth it. Let this be the year we set goals that challenge us, relationships that strengthen us, and boundaries that protect us. This year, we practice gratitude, show kindness, and choose peace even when chaos surrounds us. In closing, I want to give a shout out to all of the amazing Christmas holiday festivals and performances going around throughout our district. I know our kids have worked really hard to put shows on for our amazing parents. And I want to emphasize how important those moments are for those kids to have that support. So, parents, if you're able to make it, please come out. Please support these babies. I know how hard they've worked, and I know how proud they are to show you their hard work. I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, and I encourage everyone to reset and take some time to relax. Thank you, Tay Leon, for being with us again tonight. I do look forward to having you back on our agenda soon. And I want to wish everybody an amazing night, and please drive safe. Thank you.
Thank you, colleagues. Excellent points. And I can't top that. I can't top what's been said. But the one thing I wish is there's always two sides to a coin, right? So I just ask the public to get curious about the other side. What is this all about, really? Um, Something that was brought up at the last meeting and just now was a learner center collaborative. Someone mentioned why we weren't there. I wasn't there specifically. I wasn't there because there was no notification for the board to be there. We had no idea about, and when we did bring up the fact, hey, why can't we, where's our invitation? We just get a list of events, and that wasn't on there. So I didn't go because I didn't not want to go. I just didn't know about the time, the place, where it was at. And that wasn't the first time that concern was brought up to me. I had a teacher come up to me and say, "Hey, where were you at the last Learner Center Collaborative?" I said, "What do you mean?" I had no idea. So that's the flip side. And to address why it was passed, it didn't pass the first time. It was brought back in separate pieces, and then the board passed it. So we still passed it. So I don't know what the point of that was, but we didn't pass it the first time. That's correct. We brought it back in separate pieces because it was a lot of money, and we passed it. So it still passed. So I don't know what that. And the back and forth, I know that some people had some good points about that. So the Brown Act says that we can't get into a dialogue back and forth with public comment speakers or anyone in the audience. But what trustees can do is make a comment to um, address or just clear for the record. So that's my understanding. Moving on to my official script this year. Yes,
Real quick,
sure.
President Soto,
Yeah.
I do apologize to you and the public. With the special board meeting tonight, my child is still at school, so at this time I will be taking leave.
Taking off. Okay, so we'll put on record that you're leaving at 5:46 p.m.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Alrighty. This year has asked a lot of this district. Have a good night. Thank you for joining us. It's asked. This year has asked a lot of this district. It's asked a lot of our staff, students, and families, and the people sitting at this table. And while we may not always agree, I want to be clear about one thing. We are committed to working through those disagreements in a professional, respectful way that reflects the values we want our students to learn. Our kids are watching how adults handle difference. They're watching how we communicate, how we listen, and how we move forward even when it's hard. And we owe it to them to model what that looks like. As we head into the holiday season and prepare for the new year, I hope everyone takes time to rest, recharge, and please spend time with people you care about. We'll come back ready to continue the work, focused on students grounded in integrity and committed to doing better together. On behalf of the board, I want to wish our students, families, staff, and community a safe and happy holiday season and a strong start to the new year. Thank you for being here tonight. We'll see you in 2026. Thank you. Moving on to superintendent reports and announcements. Dr. Walker.
Thank you, President Soto. I want to just start off by saying to Talion, what I keep hearing is that we want to do things differently. We don't want to do things the same old way how we've always done it. And I'm not really sure how it was always done here with regards to charters and the renewal process. But just know that everything that we're doing is decent and in order. We're not trying to prolong anything. We're following the appropriate steps in order to move it forward. We're going to do everything that we said we were going to do during our orientation. Nothing has changed. And that information was also shared with all the trustees as to the process. So I apologize that you're here tonight, but it was already stated when we first had our discussion that these were the steps that we were going to follow. And it's unfortunate that things may have been done differently. This is the only process that I'm aware of that I've always done with any charter that I've had in my district. And so we're just following those same steps. Nothing's changed. And so thank you. I just know that there were some comments that were made as if I'm doing things that it's disrespectful to you, and in no way is that what in no way is that what's happening, and that it was on the agenda the way that it was supposed to be on there as far as a public hearing. So with that, I just want to make sure, because I think it's one thing to say something. I really want you to know where our hearts are, and that we are doing the appropriate steps for a petition for renewal. Okay? Thank you. And thank you for being here. With that, I am so proud to be here. Number one, I made a decision back in July to come and help support Adelanto. That was what was asked of me as the previous acting superintendent. He said, you know, I heard about you. You were referred to me by someone. Could you come and help us out in HR? So I did. I came and I was supposed to be here for 6 months. That was my commitment. During that time period, that particular acting superintendent left. And I was asked to be the interim. I could have easily said, no, I'm here for HR. But then everyone kept asking me, like, are you going to stay? Are you going to stay? And I'm like, let me just take care of the things that I'm here to take care of during that interim period. And then I was appointed to the position. I was appointed at the time when the teachers union asked, the classified union asked, and different members within the community said, please don't leave. I understand the changes that have occurred in this system, the turnover of superintendencies. I live, as they say, down the hill, a new language that I didn't know existed, but I live down the hill. But I choose to drive up here every day. And I have a good attitude about it. I choose to drive home every night. I choose to participate in the events that I choose to participate in. I engage because in the community outside of Adelanto, when you hear Adelanto's name stated, it's not positive. And so for me, that was hard to hear because they don't know all the great things that are happening in this district. All the great people that are working hard every day to make things happen. All the students that come to school every day expecting to get an education. They don't know. All they know is that there is a turnover. All they know is that they can't keep a superintendent. All they know is that, oh, don't go there. I was told by many people, are you sure this is what you want to do? Are you sure you want to do that? Because they don't last, the superintendents in Adelanto. Go in, do your job, leave. Take the interim, take any interim position, but do not take a permanent position in this district because they're not going to keep you. I was committed. I am committed. My husband says I give 1,000%. And I would have to say I agree. But I'm giving 1,000% because I see all of you. I see everything that you are doing, all the work that you're putting in, all the hours that you're spending, preparing your classrooms. The students every day, their eagerness to want to learn, and even those that are not eager, the effort that is being made by the adults in this system. So I come here, I do this because I want to, not because I have to. And so I love this community. I can see so much potential. There's so much great work we can do together. But you know what? The key word is together. I can't do it by myself. This board can't do it by themselves. And I've said this before. That's our reality. But, you know, I'm hearing the language, but with those words comes actions. And if you're saying one thing, then do what you say. Don't just say it. Do it. because I am a woman of integrity. And when my name is put out there as if I'm not communicating, if I'm not doing my job, then tell me I'm not. Show me where I'm not doing my job, and I will do whatever it takes to move it forward. But I have no reason to hold back information. I have no reason to not be transparent. I have no reason to do anything but my best work to maintain being here in this job so that we can move our system forward. I keep hearing it's all about the kids. I love to see the day when it is all about the kids. And so I end with a video.
Serving the community as your superintendent has been one of the greatest honors of my life. This work brings me so much joy, not because it's easy, but because it's meaningful. Leadership is often seen as something visible, big decisions, big moments, big wins. But in reality, most of the work happens quietly. It happens in negotiations, in crisis management, in problem solving, and in building trust with our families, staff, and our community partners. This year has reminded me that none of this work can be done alone. Together, we've achieved so much. And in the final weeks of 2025, we've shared meaningful leadership learning experiences. We've celebrated Ted Vick Elementary's participation in the Disney Musicals in Schools program. We've brought families together through our first joint parent committees meeting, strengthened our coalition work to keep our Thrive 2030 promises, and come together as an AESD family during the holidays. These moments weren't just events. They were reflections of connection, trust, and collaboration. As we close out the 2025 calendar year, I am incredibly proud of what we've accomplished and deeply grateful for the opportunity to serve such a strong and caring community. Let's carry this momentum forward into the new year with excitement and hope, big, bold, and brave together. Happy holidays, AESD family.
Moving on, thank you, Dr. Walker. Moving on to adjournment. At this time, I'll entertain a motion.
Stewart, I motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Left French, I second.
Ms. LeVay, we'll take the vote, please.
Trustee Krause?
Kraus, aye.
Trustee LaFrench?
Left French, I.
Trustee Stewart?
Stewart, aye.
Trustee Soto?
Soto, aye. Motion passes 4-0 with Kyer being absent. The time is 5:59 p.m. Thank you, everyone. Have a great, happy holidays.